You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, we have got dramatic new spoilers for next week. We're going to see Amanda's arrival causing a ruckus, Victor surprising Nikki, and Kyle upsetting Claire, and this is all events that are going to clear the path for Dumas to come to town. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we've got your latest Y&R spoilers for the week of May 19th. And please hit subscribe if you are not already following us. All right, so as this week ends, we've got Amanda Sinclair in town, and it has the Winters family all up in arms. Lily, Devon, and Nate all get text, and they show up to meet with Dumas. And as they filter in, they're like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And then Amanda shows up to drop a bombshell. Devon initially thinks that his ex Amanda might be Dumas, and Amanda kind of makes a joke about it, but then makes clear, no, she's absolutely not. Dumas is a guy. She's only his attorney, and he wanted Amanda to meet with all of these interested parties to answer some questions for them. So, of course, they want to know if Dumas is a fake name. Well, duh. Obviously it is. And Amanda says that, you know, he is absolutely the person that he claims to be. And he recruited Amanda, and she said she's been meeting him face to face. So she knows exactly who he is, and says he has no interest in taking over Winters, but he was a big fan of Neil Winters. So Devon's asking about why Amanda's showing up, and she thinks Dumas thought seeing a friendly face, which when it comes to Devon, her face is not so friendly, might kind of calm them down about his coming to town soon. And Amanda says her boss has just one focus, and that it's something that's going to please them, especially Lily. That doesn't sit well with them. There's lots of suspicions. Amanda does say Dumas is interested in Chancellor because he doesn't like what Victor did to Billy, but Amanda also said he doesn't like what Billy did to Lily. So very interesting. It's giving us some hints. Amanda says that Dumas admires them, but none of them trust this mystery man or Amanda, who's now wrapping him, and she insists that time will reveal it all. So Devon is later wondering if Amanda is doing this to get revenge on him and send him some kind of message. They're grasping at straws because they just don't understand. And this turn of events has Nate thinking, yeah, maybe Damian being a double agent is actually a good idea. Lily wants to expose Dumas and drag him out of the shadows. So there are these red flags that point to Dumas having a vested interest in Lily, also in Jill, also in Chancellor. Plus, they very specifically mentioned that he's only been active under this name of Aristotle Dumas for 6 years. Well, if you put that all together, you know who left Y&R 6 years ago? It's somebody who admired Neil, has deep ties to Lily and Jill, and to Chancellor. That's Kane Ashby. Of course, right now, Daniel Goddard, the actor who played Kane, is over at General Hospital on contract, and his run is set for a little while longer. So if Dumas is Kane, which the red flags are now pointing to, it's not going to be Daniel Goddard in the role. But of course, Billy Flynn is actually in a sweet spot, and he meets the requirements to play a recast Kane Ashby. And if I recall correctly, we were told that Flynn was going to be playing a new character, but honestly, you can't trust CBS Daytime to give us this straight scoop on casting. In case you forgot, Kane was married to Lily. Jill's his stepmom through Colin, and she considers Kane her son. And of course, Kane is the father of Lily's twins, and he has a long and contentious history with Billy, and he's absolutely no fan of Victor's. He was close to Kay Chancellor, cares about her company, and always wanted Neil to like him. Meanwhile, Amanda next week gets together with her pal Phyllis and demands to know why she is trying to reach Amanda's boss, Dumas. That's going to start this week, carry over to next week. And if he really is Kane, then by the way, he does not have a romantic history with Phyllis or anything like that, but isn't a fan of hers in particular. So next week, Amanda has a run-in with Abby, and Amanda reassures her that everybody just needs to relax. Dumas is trying to protect the Winters family and their company, isn't trying to take anything from them, but Abby wants to know what's in it for this guy. So we're finally starting to get some answers on this whole storyline that's just, honestly, the identity has gone on too long. It's silly. Hopefully we'll get some resolution and some closure next week. Also, at the end of this week, Nick is trying to help Phyllis, and he tells her that he's there for her when he sees that she's clearly spiraling, and then Sharon shows up and interrupts, and things are kind of prickly between Phyllis and Sharon after Nick goes. Looks like Sharon may be a little jealous about Nick, and vice versa about Phyllis and Sharon and Nick. And we all know Nick is being nice to Phyllis, but there's no romantic spark, at least not yet, but that's not to say there won't be. And it definitely feels like Sharon and Phyllis are headed for another rivalry over Nick. Been there, done that. We all got the t-shirt, right? So let's hope not, because the peace between them is actually kind of nice, and them fighting over Nick is old news. Elsewhere, Sally tries to calm Billy down, but he's very worried about what Victor and Adam are up to, and he feels like it's going to trash the company. And Nick rants at Billy for firing Phyllis when she most needs a job and stability. Sally is very uncomfortable, stuck in the middle, but Billy insists he fired Phyllis for her own sake, and she's in no headspace to devote to a startup. She needs to do some healing. Nick insists Billy did a bad thing, and as Nick's prattling on about how awesome Phyllis is, well, guess what? She's right there, and she's eavesdropping on Nick and Billy talking, and that may thrill Phyllis. Look for some more fallout from that next week, because she may be wondering if Nick sees her as more than a friend. Also next week, Claire isn't having it. She lays into Kyle. He talked about needing to get closer to Audra to find out what she's up to and take her down, but Claire just flat out tells Kyle she doesn't like his plan to trap Audra. She doesn't want him lurking around that woman or anything. We'll see if he listens or if he persists. Meanwhile, it is almost time for Nikki's birthday at the beginning of June, and she is thankful as she and Victor start celebrating a little bit early. It sounds like he did something nice for her and has more things planned. And of course, Claire is planning a party for her. So next week, it seems, is all about aggressive guys getting aggressive. Nick's getting aggressive with Billy, which is kind of exciting. Phyllis. Billy's getting aggressive about Victor and Adam. Mystery Man Dumas getting aggressive about Billy and Victor. And we got Kyle getting aggressive about Audra. And of course, we cannot forget the great Victor Newman, who is pretty much aggressive 24/7, 365. And he's getting aggressive with all these other people and getting more ruthless by the day. And Claire's not going to like it when she finds out. Make sure to check out our full weekly spoilers video tomorrow for the week of May 19th through the 23rd, and come back soon.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.